Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjanam Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Vijakacharya Stotra Shata Shishimad His Divine Grace Bhai Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON and BBT Founder Acharya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Srila Prabhupada ji ki Maha Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki Go Pramanande All Glorious Assembly Devotees All Glorious Assembly Devotees All Glorious Assembly Devotees All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasan Tato Jayamudirayet Nastapareshva Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhavatinastiki Shringvadan Swakata Krishna Punya Sharvana Kirtanaha Ridanta Istohya Bhadani Vidhunod Suritsatam Krishna Swadham Upagate Dharma Gyana Visaha Kalo Nasta Vishamesha Puranar Kwanoditaha Mahaganta Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, verse 37. Title of chapter is The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. the son of Swayambhuva Manu. Okay, the impossible metric. So let's go to the word by word. Saha Hi Maharaj Priyavrata Evan Das Aparimita Unparalleled Bala Strength Parakramaha whose influence Ekada once upon a time to then the Varishi of the great Saint Narada Charana Anushayana surrender unto the Lord's feet. Anu thereafter Patita falling down. Guna Visarga with material affairs created by the three modes of nature. Samsargirna by connection. Anirvritan not satisfied. Iva like Atmanan himself. Manyamanaha think like that. Atma self. Nirvedaha possessing renunciation. Idam this. Aha said. This is the moment that Maharaj Priyavrata will have a small falling down of the family life. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace by Chanavina Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. While enjoying his material opulences with full strength and influence, Maharaj Priyavrata once began to consider that although he had fully surrendered to the great Saint Narada and was actually on the path of Krishna consciousness, Narada Muni is your spiritual master, his spiritual master, he had somehow become again entangled in material activities. Thus, his mind now became restless and began to speak in a spirit of renunciation. Okay, let's go repeat together. While enjoying his material opulences with full strength and influence, Maharaj Priyavrata once began to consider that although he had fully surrendered to great Saint Narada and was actually on the path of Krishna consciousness, but he had somehow become again entangled in material activities. Thus his mind now became restless. And he began to speak in a spirit of renunciation. Yeah. This verse practically is the introduction for the tomorrow's verse, because tomorrow Priyavrata will speak, but this introduction reveals a lot of things. Okay, purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Verse 17, it said, Tyaktva swadharma charanam bhujan hare bhajan apakotat patitato yadi yatra ko vabhadram Mabhodyanusha King Kovaita Po Bhaja Tan Swadharmataha. This is a verse to memorize to Bhakti Vaibhava in ISKCON. Translation: one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devout thug fully engaged in occupational duties like varnashram does not again anything. Or in nowadays, a person that is very nice occupied in moral life with family, job, and a respectful citizen. If one somehow or other comes to shelter of a great Vaishnava, takes to Krishna consciousness because of sentiment or realization, but in course of time falls down because of immature understanding, he is not actually fallen, for his having engaged in Krishna consciousness is a permanent asset. If one falls down, therefore his progress might be checked for a certain time, but it will again become manifest at an opportune moment, in this life or the next life. Although Priyavrat Maharaj was serving according to the instructions of Narada Muni, this is very important, meant for going back home, back to Godhead. He returned to material affairs at the request of his father, Swayambhuva Manu, especially also Lord Brahma. In due course of time, however, his consciousness for serving Krishna reawakened by the grace of his spiritual master Narada. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 41, Suchinam Srimatanga He Yogo Bhrastu Vijayate. One who falls down from the process of Bhakti Yoga is again offered the opulence of demigods, and after enjoying such material opulence, he is given a chance to take birth. This is the yogi that fall down for a large period of time or short period of time. In a noble family of a pure brahmanas or in a rich family, this is a short period of time, to be given the chance to revive his Krishna consciousness. This actually happened in the life of Priyavrata. He is a most glorious example of this truth. In due course of time, he no longer wanted to enjoy his material opulences and his wife, kingdom, and sons. Instead, he wanted to renounce them all. Therefore, after having described the material opulences of Maharaj Priyavrata, Shukadeva Goswami in this verse describes his tendency for renunciation. The words Devarshi Charana Nushayana indicate that Maharaj Priyavrata, having fully surrendered to the great sage Devarshi Narada, was strictly following all the devotional process and regulative principles under his direction. Vaidhi Bhakti. In regard to strictly following the regulative principles, Srila Vaishnava Chakravarti Thakur says, Dandavat pranamas tan anupatitaha, by immediately offering obeisance, Dandavat, unto the spiritual master, and by strictly following his directions, the student becomes advanced. Maharaj Priyavrata was doing all these things regularly. As long as one is in the material world, he has to be under the influence of the modes of material nature, guna visarga. It is not that Maharaj Priyavrata was freed from material influence because he possessed all material opulences. In this material world, both the very poor man and the very rich man are under material influences, for both wealth and poverty are creations of the modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 27, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha. According to the modes of material nature, we acquire. The material nature gives us facility for material enjoyment. Shila Prabhupada aqui. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmiritanjana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitan Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalameham Dadat Swat Padantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adigaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. So, Hare Krishna for everyone. Thank you for coming to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we see the Maharaj Priyavrata flourish again the desire to tyaga, to vairagya, to renunciation life. He has this tendency from the beginning, but by the counsel, the advice of your father and Lord Brahma, he took the family life, the Grihastha life, because as he is a son of Swayambhuva Manu, he is a king, he is a kshatriya, and the kshatriya need to rule the world or the planet. So this is a very important function, very important activity, especially because a saintly king or a judge conduces your citizens, your folks to self-realization. It's very important for the whole world, for all peoples, the presence of a Rajaj like Priyavrata Maharaj in the kingdom, in the parliament. Okay, I will start a little summary about the personality of Priyavrata Maharaj. The dynasty of Priyavrata. Priyavrata exemplified the spirit of sacrificing one's personal desire to be obedient to the orders of superiors. Although he wanted to be in the renounced order, upon Lord Brahma's request, he took charge of this father's kingdom without any grudges. He ruled in an exceptional way, dividing Bhumandala into 7 islands and 7 oceans. This is the last scenes of these chapters. Appointing his sons, the rulers, and finally retiring. Yeah, this will begin now. He showed how devotees can achieve great things because they are surrendered to the all-powerful Lord. This came from Bhagavata Subodhini, that is the study of Srimad Bhagavatam from the devotees, from disciples of Maharaj Radhanath Swami from Jaupati. It's a very famous study of Srimad Bhagavatam in ISKCON. And we have the translation by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Prabhupada explained about Krishna consciousness in his translation, but here in the translation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is more literally, more word by word. Priyavrata, of unlimited power and prowess, once began to consider himself dissatisfied because of contact with materialism from ruling the kingdom. After having surrendered to the feet of Narada, he became disgusted with his situation. He then spoke. That is tomorrow. Krishna Paramarupa will speak to you what Prabhupada Maharaj said. Okay. I want to know, was there any misconduct on the part of Maharaj Priyavrata? Did he fall from the path of renunciation and became avantage because he followed the path of the renunciation and after he married? So he fallen down of this position and become avantage? Wait. This is not you, don't worry. My Maha Krishna, what is avantage? One who first accepts sannyas but then returns to such materialistic activities is to be called avantage, or one who eats his own vomit. He is indeed, this was spoken by Prada Maharaj, a boy of 7 years old. He is indeed a shameless person. This is not you. In this path, Nihabrikamana Shoasti Pratyavayo Navidyate Swalpamapi Asya Dharmasya Trate Mahato Bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Okay, Maharaj Priyavrata. And the little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear, that is the fear of death. Who says this was Lord Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 40. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya mat paraha anani aiva yogena mandhyanta upasate. But those who worship me, Lord Shri Krishna, and not me, give up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engage in devotional service and always meditate upon me, having fixed their minds upon me. That is the question. Maharaj Priyavrata was occupied in ruler the kingdom, in family business, physically, but your mind was attached, was in the Krishna's lotus feet. This is the great position of him. But even this, he was disgusted of that. Having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for then I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. This is a very beautiful painting. Yes? Narayana saved the devotees from the material ocean. One of the first portraits that I saw in Bhagavad Gita. But then there won't be any consequences. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, what you have said is correct. The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is praised in eloquent, transcendental verses by such exalted personalities as Brahma, are very pleasing to great devotees and liberate persons. One who is attached to the nectarian honey of the Lord Lotus feet, and whose mind is always absorbed in his glories, may sometimes be checked by some impediment, but he still never give up the exalted position he has acquired. Okay? Even for a Paramahansa, even for Atmarama of level Maharaj Priyavrata, the family life have a little impediments. But remember, this is the level of his consciousness. Especially nowadays, for many peoples, the married life is a solution, is like a medicine, is like a remedy. Yes? It's very important in the Grihastha ashram, in the path of the devotional service for many peoples. Regarding regulated enjoyment of the senses in family life, Prabhupada speaks very nice this in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 34, in his purport. One has to follow those rules and regulations, unattached to them, because the practice of sense gratification and the regulations may also lead one to go astray, as much as there is always the chance of an accident even on the royal roads. Yes, even in a very, very nice road, have the possibility of accident, of course have. Although they may be very carefully maintained, no one can guarantee that there will be no danger even on the safest road. The sense enjoyment spirit has been current a very long time, owing to material association. Therefore, in spite of regulate sense enjoyment, there is very chance of falling down. Therefore, an attachment for regulate sense enjoyment must also be avoided by all means. But attachment to Krishna consciousness, this is the positive perspective, or acting always in the love and service of Krishna, detaches one from all kinds of sensory activities. Therefore, no one shall try to be detached from Krishna consciousness at any stage of life. The whole purpose of detachment from all kinds of sense attachment is ultimately to become situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness. About renunciation. What the Bhagavad philosophy speak about renunciation? Because for a sannyasi, especially in the Vedic path, the sannyasi go to the forest, no eat food, cooking food, no speak with any person, don't speak more, yes, Mauna Vrata, and only stay meditate in Brahman or in Krishna. But what the Bhagavad philosophy speak about renunciation, vairagya? What Krishna speak about renunciation in Bhagavad Gita? What's the concept of renunciation, especially of nowadays? One first thing that we can arise is the what can I do renunciated? I can renunciate my possessions. But what is my possessions? What I have? So this is a different way, because in the process of jnana, when you study the Upanishads, you understand that I am a spiritual soul, I am Brahman, and the goal of life is foundation in the Brahma Jyoti. So in this path, you need to renunciate all things. All things is Maya. But where Maya come from? This is not so clear in the Jnana portion, Jnana philosophy. So with the real Jnana, with Vijnana, we understand that Krishna is Bhagavan, Krishna is the source of all things. So everything is the property of Lord Krishna. So how I can renunciate what thing that pertains of another? So with Vijnana, with the Jnana in Bhakti, we understand that Krishna is the proprietor all things, and all things need to give it to him, to his satisfaction. I have 3 verses very important that speak about this. This verse came from the 10th canto, chapter 14. This is the chapter of Brahma Mohan Lila, when Lord Brahma stole the cart boys and the calves. Vastu Jata Matra Krishna Istashnu Charishnu Cha. For me, it's very small, the letter. Bhagavat Rupam Akhilan Nanyad Vastu Iha Kinchana. Those in this world who understand the Lord Krishna as He is, see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Okay, when you have a Krishna consciousness, you understand that Krishna is all. Krishna is up, Krishna is down, Krishna is all directions, all things. All peoples are spiritual soul. The opposite sex is a spiritual soul, and this spiritual soul is a eternal servant of Lord Shri Krishna. Good person, bad person, a thief or a saintly. These are covers that came from of the modes of nature. Probably a thief are influenced by Tamaguna, and a saintly person is influenced by Sattva-guna, but both are expansions of Lord Shri Krishna, Mama, Ivansha, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta, Sanatanaha, part and parcel of Lord Shri Krishna, and they ontologically, they are eternal servant of Krishna. For example, the sandal poop is a very thing desirable to touch. It's very, it smells very nice. So this is influence of Sattva-guna. But the excrement, the stool, have a bad smell, is a stink, and came from Tamaguna. But Tamaguna is an energy from Lord Shri Krishna. So Aham Brahmasmi, the devotee says everything in Brahman. And Brahman is a potency of Lord Krishna, is a refulgence of Lord Shri Krishna. So when we see something separated of Lord Shri Krishna, no, look at this guy, look at these religions. Yes, this, where this came from? Yes, when have this lack, this lacuna in our mind, this is Maya. But when we see the word and we can see all these things by intelligence, I understand that it came from Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. And this is a classical verse. Do you know that, like in the Bhagavad Gita, we have the Chatushlok, or the verse, 4 verses that contain in summary all the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam have your Chatushlok, your 4 principal verses that explained by Lord Shri Krishna, also to Lord Brahma in Canto 2, chapter 9, verses 33 to 34. So this is a very, very famous verse. Ritartanyat pratyata, na pratyata chatma. And this is I cannot read them because the letters to me too much small. Tat vidyad atmana mayang yatabhas yatatamaha. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality, or something, anything that not have connection with Krishna, this is Maya. This not exist, because everything have connection with Krishna. Everything is Krishna, but same time Krishna are in his place, in his planet Goloka Vrindavana, and all things is his energies, but everything is Krishna. Everything came from Krishna. Know it as my illusory energy. This is Maya. Yeah? If you see anything that not connect with Krishna, or if you not know about Krishna, this is Maya. That reflection which appears to be in darkness. Krishna had already laid the foundations for a balanced and perfect renunciation, Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means complete renunciation, or real renunciation. In chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, such a renunciation derives from the knowledge, jnana, that everything is Brahman, spirit, Aham Brahmasmi, and that the dual vision of matter and spirit, black and white, intelligence and stupid, contaminate and contaminate, derives from material illusion. Yes, te dvandva moha nirmuktaha. Krishna explained this in chapter 7, verse 28. One important thing, for in the beginning, for neophytes, is important to make discrimination. This is Maya, this is Krishna, this is contaminated, this is uncontaminated. But in the Paramahansa stage, don't have more these dualities. The material world, how a Paramahansa see, like a plate of bhoga to offer to Krishna. In the neophyte stage, how we see the material world, like a possibility to be enjoyed. So this mind contamination needed this eradicated. But in the pure consciousness, everything is connected to Krishna, and everything will be satisfied Krishna. This is pure consciousness. Everything is Brahman, and for the devotee who is in the material world, he sees everything as a plate of bhoga, or offering to be offered to Krishna. And when the devotee is in Goloka Vrindavana, that is his home with Krishna. This is very interesting also in Bhagavad Gita, that gives support to the Yukta Vairagya, compiled by Rupa Goswami in the Bhaktara Samrita Sindhu. Brahmar Panam Brahma Havir, Brahmagno Brahma Hutan, Brahmai Vatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. I use the translation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that is more explicit, the point that I want to show to you. The oblation consisting of Brahman. Brahman means Krishna. Don't forget this. With Brahman as the ladle is offered into the fire, which is Brahman, by the person who is Brahman, the yaga, the priest. The person Brahman attains Brahman by being absorbed in actions of Brahman. So, for example, this building. What made this building? One neophyte, one materialist person. This building was built by bricks, stones. But in the perfect view, this building was made. This building is made by Brahman, because it is offered to Brahman, to Krishna. All activities of this house, I hope so, yes, is offered to Krishna, in Krishna consciousness. What is the analogy to this? The iron, steel, the iron bar, yes, is cold. Like this building is apparently made of painting, bricks and all. So the iron is cold, but when you put in the fire, the iron get the properties of fire and can burn it also. Same thing, this building is offered to Krishna, so this building becoming Krishnized, become Krishna consciousness also. But but what really kept Maharaj Priyavrata in Krishna consciousness even at home? So this is of a pillar of this is a column of Krishna consciousness. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Shrimati Subhadra Maharani ki Jai, Jai Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Of course, Maharaj Priyavrata is Atmarama, is a great Paramahansa, but even this we can put a question: why Maharaj Priyavrata not deviated in family life? The best answer is this: because he was protected by the order of the spiritual master, the connection with the spiritual master. This is a very important thing in Krishna consciousness. Okay, this is the purport, a set of purport, this purport, 36. The words Devarshi Charanu Shayana indicate that Maharaj Priyavrata, having fully surrendered to the great sage Devarshi Narada, was strictly following all the devotional process and regulative principles under his devotion. Look, give it the impression, look like that the Maharaj Priyavrata is following the Vaidyasadhana Bhakti, because Vaidyasadhana Bhakti means follows the rules and regulations in the Vedas or that the spiritual master given. I think this is logical because one gets the perfection in Vaidyasadhana Bhakti. What is the goal? What is the destiny of this sadhaka? The Vaikuntha planets. Only that following the footsteps of Vrajavasi, inhabitant of Vrindavana, in this spontaneous mood, can go to Goloka Vrindavana. That is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. The question is, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti begins in Nishta, is very elevated position. In regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Dandavat pranamas tan anupatitaha. By immediately offering obeisances, Dandavat, unto the spiritual master, and by strictly following his directions, the student becomes advanced. Maharaj Priyavrata was doing all these things regularly. And this was the protection of Maharaj Priyavrata. The same effect. Actually, what made Maharaj Priyavrata awaken his desire for renunciation again was a vision he had inside the home. I will show it to you. Do you want to see? This is Priyavrata Maharaj. Okay, this is a joke. Don't be serious. Don't worry. This is a joke only. Srila Prabhupada aqui. Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam aqui. If you have any comment or question. if you don't have a comment or question, don't worry. I will not upset. Don't worry. I will not have a personal thing. I have a so. Okay. Hari Krishna.
Yesterday I was reading the verse Srimad Bhagavatam 4:49, and
this chapter?
No, chapter 29, canto 4.
Chapter canto 4.
And
Prithu Maharaj?
yes, and then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada states very strongly or clearly that actually anything that is done which does not lead to Krishna consciousness is a sinful activity, and any education that does not lead one to understand Krishna is false education. If Krishna consciousness is missing, one is simply engaged in false activities and false education pursuits. And you were mentioning the verse 2.9.34 that, O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. So this is actually the same thing, that if you see something without Krishna, then it's not real. So can you explain that deeper, that actually
This is
we have to have this consciousness?
We need to remember first that this is the vision of the pure devotee, the Mahabhagavat. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained the same thing in Bhagavad Gita, in his Bhagavad Gita commentary, that because Krishna divided the action in 3 parts in the 4th chapter also, Bhagavad Gita. Karma, Vikarma, Akarma. Karma means activities that we follow the rules and regulations from the Vedas. For example, the Karma Kandiya is karma. When you want a good marriage, what you do? You worship Lord Shiva or demigod, make sacrifice, and you have this blessing. You have this fruit activity, the fruit of these activities. So when I want to enjoy, and I approach from the Vedas in the religious ways, this is karma, because the fruit of karma is that you will go to the celestial planets, Swarga. But if I want, if I have desires and I want to satisfy the desire, and I acting by my mind, in the way whimsically, how is this word? When I act by my personal desire, whimsically, yes, whimsically. Thank you. How Krishna called this? Vikarma. Because by these activities that I do whimsically, I do what I want. Yes, this is my life, this is my body. I do what I want. I do what my mind wants. And my mind is contaminated by rajas and tamas, this influence. So, because of these activities, Vikarma, we can go to the hellish planets or born in the form of animals, because the influence of tamas. But when renunciates the activities and offer the result to Krishna, how call this? Akarma, yes, akarma. Without work, without acting, or liberated, without reaction, akarma. So, in the same way that the Yamuna says, don't exist karma, only vikarma. The unique act is karma when you offer to Krishna the results. Opposed to this, all things, all action is vikarma. But again, this is the vision of Paramahansa, of a pure devotee. For many, many peoples, dependence of your entangle in this material world is important, yes. Go step by step. They need the passed by this religious process. For example, it's very, very common this. Sometimes one boy have problems with drugs, with sex illicit, and your life is a complete mess. But if he married with a good girl, what happens? Many times the boy improve. Yes. So in this sense, the married life is a very, very important for many peoples. But for one that he is very advanced, really advanced in spiritual life, in spiritual consciousness, and is totally detached, don't have more attraction for material things. For this person, like Priyavata Maharaj, the married life is like poison. But for the neophyte that is full of desires, sometimes the married life is like a medicine, is like a remedy. Okay?
So you mentioned that for the neophyte it's important to see dualities.
Yeah, the neophyte is... because neophyte naturally see in duality, yes? That religion, my religion, that people is black, is inferior to me, I'm white, I'm superior, that person came from South America, I'm from Europe, I'm superior. Understand? In the materialistic mentality see in duality. Not recognize Krishna in all things, but the pure devotees recognize Krishna in all things. So the pure devotee not see the bodies. This is a Jewish body, this is a Muslim body, this is an African body, this is an Italian body. No, he see the essence, not see more the appearance. Yes, the appearance. Yeah, the cover. Not see more the cover. That is material. See the essence. What is the sense of all? Krishna. Krishna is the jivas and all things. All things are animated because the presence of jiva, presence of the consciousness, and the source of all jivas is Lord Shri Krishna, because all things is Krishna by reason, by inference logic. Okay? What's your question?
No, you said that for neophyte devotee, it's important to see like black and white.
Yeah. This is contaminated. This is uncontaminated. Yes, especially for the devotees situated in Sattva-guna. The Paramahansa are beyond of Sattva-guna. They are in Vishuddha Sattva, but the neophyte generally have influences of Sattva-guna, but they have contaminations of Sattva rajas. Everything they have anarthas. So these anarthas is important to see. This is contaminated, this is uncontaminated. This is suchi, this is muchi. For the devotee situated in Sattva-guna. If you don't discrimination, he don't have a discrimination, he will connect with muchi and stay more in Tamaguna, and more Tamaguna in his consciousness. This bring it to down, yes, to fall down. Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Go Pramanandi. Maya, ki Maya.
level of Gokula.
Krishna, then it's like the same as like good association and bad association. Then we need to see how it is before.
Especially association is a more important technique ever because the people start to living together will get the same characteristics of this people. The more effective level to advance is association. Association is wonderful because we live in temple. And temple have many people for ego, for individual privacy. But we support all these problems because the people are here, believe in Krishna, are acting to raise up Krishna. But this, they are saying the best association because if you are serving Krishna, we will get this motivation, this taste to serve Krishna. Outside, nobody like Krishna. Nobody like Krishna. Association is very important. The most important thing.
Actually, everything is based on association. Actually, we always looking for association in goodness and passion for everything. And we can sometimes it's different. But every
Yes,